Hey guys, Adam here at DirectionTrader.com. Let's go over some of these markets today. First, we're going to start off here with crude. This is the crude daily chart. And one thing I want to show, I'll show it here on an hourly chart as well, but we've absolutely gotten ourselves a little bit extended away from this 21. Typically what's going to happen is when you get a push, whether it's above or below, I like to use that 21 EMA just kind of as a guide or a reference. And anytime you get extended away from that 21 EMA, the market's got to do something. It's got to do one of two things. It's got to drop and consolidate and allow that moving average to come down to it, or it's got to drop and then pull back towards that. That's just the behavior of the market. I want to quickly note something. If you look back just a little bit, you can see we got pretty far extended away from this 21 EMA. What happened? The markets went sideways, allowing that moving average to close in. So at this point, I don't know if it's going to pull back to that moving average or if it's going to consolidate, letting that moving average come up. But we have gotten to that point, kind of that threshold that the crude oil kind of goes through, and it's kind of due for a little pullback here, guys. Now, as I said, I don't know if that's a sideways consolidation allowing this moving average to come back, or if it's actually a retracement here. That is to be determined, but we just want to note that we have gotten a little bit extended here, and one of the two is going to happen. Okay. So with that being said, let me pull up the let me just pull up an hourly chart here. As you can see, we've done a couple things that are pretty interesting today. If you take yesterday's low and yesterday's high, I normally have them marked up here with lines, but this here is for an example. We got a little teaser here to the short side this morning, meaning that it acted like it wanted to continue selling off, but the very next hour we popped right back up inside that previous day's range. Okay, we have that previous day's range, and sure enough, after you get a fake out to the short side, we talked about it in the live trading room, what's usually our target? That previous day's highs, as we have absolutely filled. Topping tail candle, little fake out. So right now I'm kind of indecisive. I would want to see it go ahead and push above this hourly bar here and go ahead and push on higher, meaning we are maybe starting a little retracement as we just showed in the daily chart. If it stays down low and closes inside of Monday's range, look for a possible range-bound environment as this daily chart, as we were just talking about here on the daily chart, maybe moving forward, maybe look for somewhat of a range-bound environment for the next few days while that 21 creeps its way lower. Okay. All right, that was crude oil. Let's go ahead and go to one of the indexes. Let's just pull up Russell. This is the daily chart of the Russell here. You can see we've pretty much been in a sideways range on the Russell here. Pretty much the indexes as well. The Nasdaq's had a little bit of a run, but same concept here. Same concept here. We're getting a little bit separated here from this 21 EMA. You see the crude oil here has, not the crude, the Russell tends to pull back a little more. Look, every time the Russell's gotten extended, it's pulled back to it, hasn't it? So note the differences between the Russell and the crude oil. Crude oil will drop, consolidate while it comes down to it. The Russell's actually pulling back to it very nicely over and over and over again. So with that being said, note that we've got to about the threshold of how far away from that 21 we get here in the Russell, right? We can go ahead and mark all these up and say, man, this is about as far as it gets. So today we had previous day's low, all right? And we opened up here nice and low here this morning, opened up nice and low here this morning. But what happened? If you go back, look at your hourly charts. Let me just hurry up and do that here real fast, guys. The reason I'm covering this today is something we talked about this morning in the trading room. You notice here in this first hourly chart how we dropped so aggressively just to bounce higher into that 9 o'clock hour. What happened? Created a very, very nice bottoming tail candle. As this next bar started to form, what happened? Dropped about half of that length. Some of you guys use Fibonacci's. What happened? It basically pulled back halfway and then has done nothing but push higher ever since. Okay, so with that being said, let's go back to that daily chart here. And let's notice, hey, once it failed below that previous day's low, once it failed, as we just saw, what has happened? It's headed straight north. So going into tomorrow, I'm going to pay close attention to that previous day's high. Okay? I know that we're coming into some pretty decent area of resistance here, but if we can get above wherever we close here, we still got about an hour and 25 minutes here till close, but if we can get above today's highs, it looks like we should see a retrace back towards that 21 EMA here on the daily chart. Okay, that's it, guys. Not a real thorough breakdown of the intraday charts. I just wanted to give a little bit of a market awareness on what I see going on here in the markets. You know, the markets can change on a dime, but if that happens, say if you see this market tomorrow get up above this previous day's high, you're probably going to note that I'm going to be looking to the long side here to get longer orders. I think it's the path of least resistance. I think we can get this thing to go ahead and get a nice little pop here. From there, we're going to have to see what price action does to see if we're going to continue higher or if this is just the next swing in the next move lower. So that's it, guys. Hope you like this video. If you have any questions, you can always get a hold of me, Adam at directiontrader.com.